welcome back to my channel. So today I am super excited about this video. I've never done a video like this on my channel, but we're gonna do like a buy this, not that sort of thing. I'm basically going to be putting two of my favorite products that I rave about on here all of the time and telling you which one I think that you should buy over the other. These are my babies, these are my loves. It's going to be really hard to pick one over the other. Before we get started, don't forget to upload every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday for you guys. If you like this video while you're watching it, please go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. It really does help my channel out. And other than that, if you're excited and you want to see a buy this, not that, then let's go ahead and get started. I am pulling direct inspiration from Samantha March and Kelly Gooch. Samantha March does videos like this, and I think she calls it like her beauty battles, where she like battles out two products against each other. And then I think Kelly Gooch does just kind of what I'm doing, which is like a buy this, not that sort of thing. I'm gonna have both of their channels linked down below in case you have not checked them out yet. Definitely highly recommend you doing so. This is going to be tough. I'm not gonna lie. These are like my babies, my favorite products that I just love so much. And I'm putting them up against each other and I'm gonna have to pick one over the other. But just full disclosure, full warning before we get started, I love every single one of these products. Like, I love these products so much. I rave about them all the time. I use them all the time, on camera, off camera. They're my favorites. But sometimes you just don't have the money to buy all of the makeup. So I wanna just tell you, out of the two, which one I think that you should pick up. So we're gonna start off with arguably one of my favorite parts of makeup, and that is blush. We have the M Cosmetics blushes, and I'm putting them up against the Pat McGrath blushes. You guys, both of these blushes are just absolutely amazing. I have multiple shades in both of the formulas. I have 3 of the M Cosmetics shades, and then I have 4 of the Pat McGrath shades. So yeah, you could definitely say that I love these blushes. So this one right here is the M Cosmetics Heaven Glow blushes, and I just reached for the shade Venetian Rose. That's kind of the one that I've just been reaching for the most lately. And these retail for $34. So definitely not the cheapest blush out there. You do get a rather large pan, and I will say all 3 of the shades that I own are a little bit more on the glowy side. You're gonna have a little bit of sheen and luminosity to it. If you can see, I don't even know if you can tell on the camera, but you can see better here. It really does give you like a really beautiful sheen and luminosity to your skin. It makes you look alive. The shades are stunning. I have been raving about these blushes for a very long time on my channel, but then last year, Pat McGrath released her blushes, and these are her Skin Fetish Divine blushes. I just reached for the shade Flirtatious. I thought it was the most kind of similar to Venetian Rose, and also it's my most used. If you can tell, the embossing is coming off because yeah, I use this blush all of the time. It is one of my favorite blushes ever. These retail for $38, so not much more than the M Cosmetics. And I tried to build up a swatch here of Flirtatious. Again, this is gonna give you a little bit of sheen and glow on your skin. And this is one of her more matte formulas. She also has ones that have a little bit of shimmer and glimmer to them. This is just not one of them. So it just kind of depends on what like blush finish you like on your cheeks. M Cosmetics comes in 3 different shades, and I do own all 3 of them. And then Pat McGrath, I believe her blushes come in 8 or 9 shades, and I own 4 of them. So the pans actually look larger on the M Cosmetics blushes, so it's giving the illusion that you do get more product, but you don't. For the M Cosmetics blushes, you get 8 grams or 0.28 ounces. For Pat McGrath, you get 9.7 grams or 0.34 ounces. So you actually get more from Pat McGrath, which is good because it is $4 more expensive. So now I have to choose. I didn't like pre-choose before filming. Maybe I should have. Maybe I would have made this easier on myself, but I was like, I'll just wing it and decide when I'm filming. Oh man. I feel like if I had to choose, if I absolutely had to choose, I actually think I would choose Pat McGrath over M Cosmetics, which breaks my heart because I'm serious. I love these blushes so much. This shade and Faded Clementine are just absolutely stunning. I don't use Magic Hour as much as those other 2, but I do think I would choose Pat McGrath over this. You are getting a really beautiful component. I mean, honestly, both are beautiful, so maybe I shouldn't have even said that. But I just feel like the longevity of Pat McGrath is just so good. They're so stunning on the skin. This is so hard. They're both beautiful, okay? You could not go wrong. You could not go wrong if you picked up either one. But yeah, I don't know. There's just something about Pat McGrath, and maybe because she's been so like my favorite brand recently, I've been going nutso and trying so much Pat McGrath. It's honestly kind of ridiculous. I probably need to stop. But yeah, I think longevity, shade-wise, because there are way more options. This is a little bit more accessible because you can get it from Sephora. M Cosmetics is only available on her website, and then you kind of have to pay shipping. Sephora a lot of times has free shipping over a certain amount of money or anything like that. So I love them both. I love them both. But I think I'd have to give it to Pat. Next up, we have two foundations that I use all the time. I wear all the time. I rave about them all the time. And really, honestly, they are very similar on the skin, how they wear, how they look. They're both full coverage. They're both a little bit more on the matte side. I love them both. And I am talking about the Pure Cosmetics 4-in-1 Love Your Selfie Foundation. I have the shade LN2 and also the Physicians Formula Butter Believe It Foundation plus Concealer. And in this, I have the shade Fair. So here are swatches for you guys. Here we have the Pure 4-in-1 in the shade L2, and then we have Physicians Formula in the shade Fair. So like I was saying, both of these are very full coverage on the skin. They both give a little bit more of a matte finish. They both give you a very perfecting canvas. Like they are full coverage. They will cover up anything you need. Acne scars, redness, anything that your skin is like just not jiving with you. These babies will cover them up. Physicians Formula retails for $12. You can get it at their website and also Target. I don't know any other places that you can get it from. You used to be able to get it from Ulta, and for some reason you can't anymore. I'm not sure why. The Pure 4-in-1 retails for $36. You can get this from Ulta and then their website as well. Obviously, that is a pretty large jump in money, $12 versus $36. However, this one is on sale very often at Ulta, so you can definitely get a good deal on it, and I think it brings it down to like $24. So yes, it's gonna still be twice the amount of this one, but I do think that that is a pretty good deal that you can get this on sale pretty often. You're getting 1 fluid ounce in both of these bottles, so you're getting the same amount of product. The Physicians Formula one definitely has a scent though. This has a very tropical sort of scent that a lot of their products have. So if you are sensitive to scents, definitely keep that in mind. Also, this one I believe only comes in 8 or 10 shades. This one comes in 100. This comes in 100 shades. Granted, Ulta does not carry all 100 of those shades. I want to say they carry maybe like 30 or 40 of them, but on their website, this baby comes in 100 shades, which is absolutely mind-boggling to me. It has so many different undertones, different shade ranges. Just if you cannot find your foundation shade in a brand's line, I would definitely check this one out because chances are you are going to be able to find that one. So honestly, personally, for myself, I prefer this one on my skin. I think it's a little bit less drying than the Pure. So that's another thing I want to mention. Both of these, if you have dry skin, I would definitely go in with a more hydrating base. If you have oily skin, I think you would love both of these. I think it really does help keep your oils at bay. Neither one of them really break up on me towards the end of the day. This one does a little bit more than this one. So for me personally, I would pick the Physicians Formula one, but for me to recommend it to you guys, I would say Pure, only because this has a way better shade range, so it's going to encompass way more people and way more skin tones. It is completely scent free. Pure is really known for making their products with really nice ingredients that aren't harmful to the skin or irritating to the skin. So while I personally like this one just a little bit better on my skin, I would recommend the Pure one over it, and I would choose the Pure one over this one if I absolutely had to. Plus this shade is a little bit better on me. This one is a little bit too orange. I really like to mix this with my Purito Cica Clearing BB Cream to make it a little bit more neutral. So for you guys, and if you are looking between the two of them, they are very similar. I know the price point isn't. I know this one is more, but I still would recommend this one over the Physicians Formula if you are going between two of them. If you have dry skin though, definitely hydrate. But other than that, this is a beautiful foundation. They both are though. Next up, we're talking about some bronzer. And while I really love blush and adding blush to my face, I also really love bronzer and just warming up my face, giving my face dimension. It's another one of my favorite steps ever. We have two babies right here. This one is the Ilia Nightlight Bronzing Powder, and I have the shade Drawn In. And then we also have the Charlotte Tilbury. This is her airbrush bronzer, and this is in the shade 2 medium for you guys. So here we have both of them swatched for you guys. The bottom one right here is the Ilia Nightlight Bronzer in the shade Drawn In. And the top one here is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Bronzer in the shade 2 Medium. So the Ilia one retails for $34, and you get 0.26 ounces or 7.47 grams. Then the Charlotte Tilbury one retails for $56. I know that's quite a large price jump. However, for the Charlotte Tilbury one, you are getting 16 grams or 0.56 ounces. So you're getting twice the amount of product in the Charlotte Tilbury one than you are in the Ilia one. Both of them come with only 4 shades though, which is definitely a downside and a bummer. I definitely think there needs to be more. The shade ranges are okay. I just don't think it goes deep enough for either one. This is the lightest one in the Ilia, and then this is the second lightest one in the Charlotte Tilbury one. I think that's a little bit of a downside. The fact that I am so fair and I can go in with the second deepest out of 4 bronzers, I just think is not cool. I definitely think Charlotte Tilbury needs to step up her game and step up her shade ranges. That's something we've been talking about for a very long time from her, so I'm hoping she will listen soon and start doing so. If I'm being honest, the Charlotte Tilbury packaging is way more stunning and beautiful. I do like the simplicity of the Ilia packaging. It's nice and sturdy. It closes really nicely. I don't think that this is like chintzy or cheap and gonna break in any form or fashion, but I mean, look at this. Like, the Charlotte Tilbury packaging is just absolutely stunning. I've also had this for a very long time and it has not scratched or faded or chipped or anything like that. It still looks just as beautiful as like the first day I bought this. Another plus about this one is that whenever you finish this large pan, because it is very large, you get a ton of product in it, you can stick something in here and it'll pop out, and you can buy a replaceable pan so you can keep the actual packaging and then just replace the pan, which I think is a really nice aspect, because obviously waste is a very huge issue that the makeup industry has, and I just think that that's a really cool concept. I also think the Charlotte Tilbury one is a lot more beginner friendly. The Ilia one is very pigmented, to the point where like a lot of times I go overboard with it and I have to like tone it down with some sort of bronzer. This one is a little bit less pigmented and a little bit more buildable on the cheeks, but both of them end up giving you a very beautiful bronze sort of look. Like, I love the Ilia one. I've been reaching for this one over my Charlotte Tilbury one a lot the past couple of months since I picked this up. However, if I had to choose between one of them, I would go with the Charlotte Tilbury. I know it is $22 more than the Ilia one, so swallowing that price at first, $34 versus $56, I know it's kind of hard to accept. And you can get this on sale during the Sephora sale. You can also get this one on sale as well, but I'm just saying it'll make the $56 a little bit easier on your wallet. So yeah, between the two, I think the packaging is beautiful. You're getting twice the amount of product. It is buildable, so it's not going to be too scary for someone who's a little bit maybe newer to makeup. And I love them both. Trust me, I reach for them and I love them both. But if I had to choose, I would pick Charlotte Tilbury. Next up, we have some setting sprays. 2 setting sprays that I love, that I use all of the stinking time. The first one is the Urban Decay De-Slick Makeup Setting Spray. This is for oil control. And the second one is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. So the Urban Decay one retails for $33 and you're getting 4 ounces. The Charlotte Tilbury one retails for $35 and you're getting 3.3 ounces. So you are getting more with the Urban Decay and you're paying $2 less. What I like about both of these is I really truly do think that both of these help my makeup last for a very long time. I really do think that they make a difference in how my makeup lasts throughout the day. They are a little bit different in the sense that the De-Slick is really good at controlling your oils. Yes, I still get oily by the end of the day, but I really do think this helps. But this does give a little bit of sheen and glow to my skin, not a ton. I don't want that to scare you because it is oil controlling. It doesn't make your skin look very like luminous and dewy or anything like that, but it does give you a little bit of sheen. And that's another thing that this one does as well. When I spray this on my face, it just gives a really beautiful glow to the skin. And again, I really do think that this one helps make my makeup last all day long. I know a lot of people were saying when this first launched last year that this was helping their makeup completely transfer proof under a mask. I definitely don't get that with either one of these. My makeup always transfers under a mask. It doesn't matter what foundation, what setting spray, what I use, it transfers under a mask. It's rubbing up on my face all day. I mean, that's just kind of like impossible in my eyes, but a lot of people were saying that, so I did want to give that a shout out. I have been through a million De-Slicks. I literally have been using the setting spray for 5 or 6 years at this point. I don't think I will ever not use it. The Charlotte Tilbury one is a little bit newer to me. It just launched last year. However, when I first tried it out, I tried out a mini and I flew through that mini, and then I bought the full size, and as you can see, I am almost done with the full size as well. And I do think they do a little bit different things. Obviously, this is more oil controlling. This is more just like long lasting, but I just love them both. I wanted to put them up against each other. I personally think, for me and my skin, I think I would pick the De-Slick over the Charlotte Tilbury. But I think a lot of people would prefer the Charlotte Tilbury one over the D-Slick. So I kind of think that this kind of depends on you and your skin type. If you're a little bit more oily, I would go with this one. If you're a little bit more normal to dry, I would go with this one. But for me personally, if I had to choose, I would pick the D-Slick because I just need that oil control throughout the day. My skin is a little bit drier, but in this T-zone, man, especially my chin, oh my goodness, I get so oily. It's ridiculous. So for me personally, I would pick the D-Slick. And last but not least, we have two really bougie and expensive primers. A lot of people say that primer is not a necessary step in their makeup routine, but for me, I always go in with a primer no matter what. And the two that I'm putting up against each other is the Tatcha, the Liquid Silk Canvas, versus the Hourglass Mineral Veil Oil-Free Sunscreen Primer. This has a broad spectrum SPF of 15. I don't think this has any SPF in it. So the Tatcha retails for $52 and you are getting 30 grams or 1 ounce. It has a 6-month shelf life. And then the Hourglass Mineral Veil, this retails for $56. You are getting 30 grams or 1 fluid ounce as well. And I don't see a shelf life on here, but I'm assuming because it has sunscreen in it that it would be probably a little bit shorter. I would guess 6 to 12 months. So they are a little bit different consistencies. This one right here is the Tatcha Liquid Silk Canvas, and this one up here is the Hourglass. I got way too much. Wow, that is a shame because this is very expensive. However, the Tatcha one is a little bit more lotiony of a feel, and the Hourglass one is honestly a really, really unique consistency. I really can't fully explain it. It is a little bit more of a like lotiony type of product as well. But when this one rubs into your face, it feels like a lotion. This one almost rubs into a powdery sort of finish, which is very odd, but I personally love it. I've talked about in the past how the Tatcha Liquid Silk Canvas is like the perfect primer. It does a little bit of everything. It's a little bit of hydrating, it's a little bit of smoothing, a little bit of pore filling. It helps my makeup last a really long time. And the Hourglass one is definitely more smoothing, not necessarily pore filling, but it's very smoothing and perfecting on the skin. When I put this on, it really does make my skin just look perfect. It gives a really beautiful canvas. Both of them make your skin look very, very nice. Both of them make your makeup last a little bit longer. This one definitely has a little bit more of a hydrating factor to it, while this one doesn't really provide much hydration, but it does have a little bit more SPF in there for you, which is extra SPF coverage, which is always nice. Again, I love both of these primers so much. They're both stunning and beautiful on the skin, but I think I'm about to surprise some of you guys. I feel like a lot of you guys who know me and watch my videos very often are going to think that I'm gonna pick the Tatcha one, but if I had to choose, I would pick the Hourglass because there is not a primer that I own or have tried in the past that makes my makeup last and look perfect as much as this one. Anytime I need my makeup to last all day long and just look absolutely perfect by the end of the day, I use this primer. My makeup does not break up hardly at all whenever I use this. The foundation just glides right over it. And again, it's not like gripping or anything like that, but some voodoo magic is in here where my makeup just is perfection all day long. I don't think you could go wrong with either one of them, and this is only a couple dollars more, so you're going to be spending like a pretty penny regardless. But if I had to choose, I would pick the Hourglass one. It is just the most perfecting, long-lasting, beautiful primer I've ever tried. And that was it, you guys. That was my buy this, not that, putting a couple of my favorite products that are honestly really similar to each other up against each other and letting you know which one I think you should buy if you have your eye on both of them, or which one I would choose if I absolutely had to. I don't want to choose between any of these products. I love them all. They're all my favorites. They're all my go-tos. I use them constantly. Please let me know down below in the comments if this is a type of video that you like to see from me, because I have a whole list here and I have like 5 or 6 more like pairs to put up against each other. So I could definitely make another video like this very, very soon if that is something that you would like to see. I love watching these videos just to see like what someone would actually choose if they had to. Again, I'm not going to. I love them all. Any of these 10 products that I talked about, I recommend to you guys, but those are my choices if I had to choose. Also, let me know down in the comments if you have tried any of these and if you agree with me, if you think they're as amazing and you love them as much as me or not. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much. You're awesome. I love you. Please subscribe if you have not yet, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye, guys.